Oh my word. There's more? Generic control into that goes Moo here, back with another kill count. Today we're doing another two, which is the Belko Experiment, which seems to have a lot of views. I've never even heard of it. I am familiar with the actor that is in the thumbnail though from various roles. I couldn't tell you his name though. And then we're also going to do the Sunny Family Cult, which is another CRYPT TV collab. Last week's video we did The Strangers, which was a phenomenal seeming movie from the kill count, and The Look-See, which was absolutely terrifying. You can check out my reaction to that video, leave it right up there. Also the link down below description. Also, in a place on my channel with all my other kill counts going in chronological order. Now we're doing another CRYPT TV. A lot of people were talking about like CRYPT TV, and like they're back in the day they were like really popular, and now I think like they're coming back and making more stuff now or something like that. I don't know. I do read every single one of your comments, so leave them down below. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope I can make it just tiny little bit better. Also, shout out to the patrons, because none of this would be possible was not for them. $3 a month to get you all my reaction videos a day early, and I really could not do this if it was not for them. Likes are always appreciated if you enjoy the video. I don't know what the Belko Experiment is, but people said I should do this before I jump into Leprechaun series, which we're going to be doing a lot of Leprechaun stuff for the foreseeable future. So like the next like 3 or 4 weeks is going to be all Leprechaun stuff. So hope you're excited for that. I don't know anything about the Leprechaun series. Did not know it existed. I don't know Leprechauns from like what Lucky Charms and whatnot. But like I said, I do read all your comments, leave them down below. But let's go ahead and jump into it, the Belko Experiment. All right. I have never heard of the Belko Experiment. People seem to be excited about it. Then we're doing another
Welcome to the Kill
CRYPT
Count,
TV.
where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror
Nice tie.
movies. I'm James A. Janice, and
I like
today
that
we're
tie.
looking at the Belko Experiment, since it won the YouTube poll I posted a few weeks ago. The
Oh.
Belko Experiment was written by James Gunn in 2007, but by the time production began in 2015, he was a bit too busy with the MCU to direct it himself, so both Freak director Greg McLean took over. And to me, the resulting rift in tone kind of hurts the final product. Gunn's script is full of dark humor, but McLean's direction takes the material a tad too seriously, and we wind up with an uneven movie that gives me tonal whiplash. Belko has briefly been described as Office Space meets Battle Royale. A fair enough description, since hey, it's got John C. McGinley in it, and he was one of the bombs in Office Space. The premise is simple. At an office building in Columbia, 80 American employees are told that they have to start killing each other, and that's pretty much it. The Belko Experiment, like Battle Royale, has the most horrifying concept in the world to me. Average everyday people being forced to murder or be murdered. Y'all know me, I want you to be good people. Well, what are good people supposed to do in a situation like this? Let's find out.
That's, yeah, no, that's a tough spot to be in.
The movie begins in the capital of Colombia, where a single
I did not
imposing
know that was
building
the capital of
stands
Colombia.
representing American capitalism in the form of Belko Industries. Looks like today has some extra security going on, as COO Barry Norris, played by Tony Goldwyn, notes the guards are new faces, and these new faces are checking every nook and cranny on the vehicles driven in by the American workforce. Also, the local employees are being sent back home. All right, 3-day weekend. The opening credits play over a montage of future victims.
Wait a minute, that guy looks familiar.
Office supplies that will sadly never get to see used as weapons. Also, there's a big rack of monitors and a switchboard somewhere. Those are important. This movie's got a real big cast, and you're about to see them all murder each other. So let's get to know a few faces before all the killing starts. New hire Danny, played by Melanie Diaz, is meeting with Vince, the head of HR, on her very first day. She mentions that she got the standard company tracer.
She give me Final Girl
an electronic tag meant to protect her and all the other employees from kidnappings. A likely story. Danny meets some friendly faces, like Vince's assistant Razia, as well as Roberto and Leota, two other employees who befriend her right away. Fun crowd, but I'd rather hang out over here with Peggy, played by Rusty Schwimmer, who was the abrasive diner owner in Jason Goes to Hell, and Keith, played by Josh Brenner, him. The big head and small ambitions. Leandra, played by Adria Arjona, is getting leered at by Wendell, played by everyone's favorite snarky doctor, John C. McGinley. She tries to tell him off using the office's weirdly backwards messaging system, but she has to resort to just closing the blinds on him to get real privacy. You know, the kind of privacy that'll let her make out with her boyfriend, Mike Milch, played by John Gallagher Jr. All of these characters and plenty others get their day interrupted by a voice coming over the intercom.
There are currently 80 of you in the building.
This was like some kind of purge thing.
Most of you will be dead. Your chance of survival increases by following my orders. Your first task is simply this. Murder any 2 of your fellow employees within the next half hour.
Yep, any 2? They say it doesn't matter how, but if 2 people aren't dead in 30 minutes, there will be problems. The employees aren't sure how to react to it.
It's not just like a straight up battle royale.
Concerned or what? But the phone lines are dead, cell reception is non-existent, and it looks like they ain't getting out of there anytime soon. That building is quickly becoming a bunker, which is more than a little concerning. With most employees gathered in the lobby, Barry takes control and tells everyone to remain calm because it's probably just some kind of prank, bro. He ends the powwow with some excellent corporate buzzwords.
I'm gonna go
actually, if it was a prank,
as soon as I can.
an employee employee,
business. Mike asks head of
you know,
maintenance,
if two
Bud,
employees,
played by Michael Rooker,
you
if
know,
he can do anything about those walls. But when he takes a
commit murder.
blowtorch to him with Lonnie, the Robin to his
Who
Batman,
would get
they discover ain't nothing getting through that
charged?
metal. They're shut in tight. Plus, the air conditioning's been turned off. All of that,
Was it the
combined with
prankster
those
or the
scary
person
new
that did
guards,
it?
has Mike concerned that Barry's wrong about it being just a prank, bro.
So what are you saying?
Legal Eagle probably didn't
We got
do
a
it.
couple folks to kill? No, not at all. It's a joke, Mike.
Barry tells Mike that he's
Oh,
probably
no.
just wigging out a little bit and that things will be okay. Keith, Danny, Leota, and Roberto go up to the roof and try to flag down one of those new guards that
They
see,
do
but
not
this is
care.
none of
They're
his
in a-
business, so he completely
He
ignores
just
them.
has
There's another
that.
group on the roof getting high, but not too high.
It's from Panama, man. It's not that strong. It isn't.
I know.
It includes
you're in
Marty,
Colombia.
played by James Gunn's little brother Sean, and Chet, who I would just love to have give me a big old bear hug. Marty tells the others that this whole thing is just a psychological test, man, and that they just want to see
no.
how the employees react to all this.
Look at me. Look how fucking chill I am. They lose, man.
Really?
Then the chick next to him's head blows up.
Oh!
Yeah, that's not just a prank.
Why
bro,
did it
or a psych
explode?
test. This shit's for reals. And the heads keep popping down in the sweltering lobby with another 3
How many of you
employees
seen
getting their heads
Scanners?
blown up by mysterious
I say
means
overage
that
reference.
people at first assume is gunfire, but then realize
Like his head exploded from the inside.
that's right.
How?
The explosions are coming from inside the head. Yep, it's those tags that everyone had installed in the back of their heads when they began working.
What
there,
do you
so,
mean?
That sucks.
That
Mike
was
gets thinking
allowed?
fast. He grabs a box
Maybe that's
cutter
why
and
they're in
heads into
Colombia,
the bathroom,
'cause
where he
Colombia-
starts slicing into his own head to get rid of the baby brain.
No.
Unfortunately for him,
It's gonna
the
go
voice
off.
hears all, sees all.
Michael Melch, set down the knife immediately, or we will detonate the explosive.
They give him a countdown, and he stops before it ends, saving his head. Later on, Vince
That's
and this
gotta
guy
hurt.
Terry discover that
That's
there are indeed cameras
mental.
everywhere. As Mike gets stitched up, Wendell increases his creep factor, telling Leandra how he clocks all the quote-unquote flirtatious looks and emails she sends his way.
Fuck off.
Yeah,
Oh,
fuck off,
okay,
Wendell.
then.
Back in the lobby, Barry strikes up a convo with security
This
guard
movie
Evan,
has so
played
many by James
actors
Earl,
in it, and asks him for the keys to the
and
armory so
was
he can make sure
written
the
by
guns in there
James
stay
Gunn.
safe. Wait,
How come
what?
I've never
I'm
heard of it?
sorry, this building has an armory? That sucks. When Evan refuses,
Columbia,
Barry tries to
I guess?
pull rank, but Evan nominally quits his job in response. He'll just hold on to those
Quit?
keys for now. Thanks, Barry. Down in the basement, Bud is trying to fix the air conditioning while Lonnie is slowly losing it. Can't be good for his little Lonnie brain.
they
when
just
the
trying to
voice
make people
returns over the
irritable?
Speakers. It says they'll be getting the results they want, whether the employees play along or not, then lays out some ground rules. No more dismantling cameras and no more attempting to remove the head explosives. If you do
Oh.
either of those, you're going to come down with an acute case of brain blow-up.
Why did it
itis.
take him
Then
this
the next
long to-
directive.
There are currently
this.
76 of you left in
Oh.
the building. In 2 hours, if 30 of you are not dead,
30?
we will end 60 of your lives through our own methods. Begin.
Wait,
And
they
we're
say
off. Some
60?
people, like Wendell and this big dude Antonio, immediately start arming themselves with whatever they can find.
I
in the
mean,
kitchen.
this is
Others,
how you
like
find
this
out
lady
who's
Agnes, just
your
wanna
real
find a place to
friend,
hide.
your
Lonnie's
work
really
friend.
freaking out now, and when Bud tries to calm him down, he gets a reflexive wrench to the head. Oh shit, Lonnie, did you even mean to do that? Cause oh wow, yeah, that is one beaten skull.
Whoa.
It's a real memorable
Bro.
moment as Bud struggles with some acute brain damage before slinking to the floor dead. A death all the more surprising due to Rooker's acting pedigree. Witness to this somewhat accidental murder was Danny, and when Lonnie sees her,
Oh,
he grabs her
no.
and starts swinging that wrench at her. She fights back and slams him back against a wall where there are some inconvenient
Oh.
pipes sticking out, one of which goes straight into the back of his head, killing him. Well, that's two. Maybe if
Yeah.
28 more people can die
Accidentally.
everything will be okay. In the cafeteria, where most of the employees are, Barry says they have to consider all options at this point, and different ideologies begin to form. Mike being very
Russian
much
roulette?
against it, considering any murder.
Like, is
And
that
as
what-
if Tony Goldwyn talking about killing people wasn't scary
Maybe?
enough already, Vince let slip that the COO is apparently ex-special forces. As everyone else goes off to make
Oh,
some
wait,
rescue
is he
signs,
actually?
some of the more utilitarianist guys stay behind and start talking about how their families need them at home. They take the blowtorch to that aforementioned armory in order to obtain the stash of guns kept there. Mike and Evan are against the plan, and when Wendell threatens them because he's such a big, strong man, Evan pulls out his handgun, showing
Oh.
tensions are getting real high.
Well,
Mike talks him down from
why
killing
was that
anyone,
not
but also dismantles
an
the
earlier
blowtorch
thing?
so there won't be a new slew of weapons in the mix.
That was a stupid fucking move.
Looks like
They could
Leandra
definitely get
agrees
in
with
there,
Barry,
still.
chastising Mike for pissing those dudes off, and also for not considering the realistic possibility that they may need to actually kill someone. I get that this premise
Well,
is a
I
good way
mean-
to explore how different people might approach a kill or be killed situation like this, but there's still something supremely
mean-
off-putting about how acerbic
Also,
Leandra gets with her
does
boyfriend.
anybody survive this?
To think you're just
Because, like,
fuck you.
She eventually calms down, but again,
Like,
it's jarring to have
even if they
serious
survive
character
this, are
moments
they not
like
gonna
this back to
tell
back
people?
with
Are
funny
people not gonna
stuff like
believe
Marty
them?
and his crew
What
deciding
is
that
the
the
cover-up
couple
for
must be
this?
drugging them through the drinking water.
It's gonna get moldy.
Especially considering
You
the
worried
stuff
about
that's
mold?
about to happen, the tone just isn't well blended. A big group of people get to the roof and try hanging the rescue signs from it, only to be met with gunfire from the armed guards on the ground, and the voice saying that if they try it again, they'll have some exploded heads to clean up.
Oh,
On the stairway
wow.
on their way back down, Barry's crew
So
attacks
is that
Mike
why
and
the girl
demands
on the
keys
roof?
from Evan. When he
Or
throws
is
them
she just
down,
one of
Wendell
them?
stabs him with a knife, because that dude is just one enormous
knife.
asshole, in addition to being a pervert.
Don't you call me pervert.
Are you sure about that?
A pervert would say.
Yeah.
They leave Evan to bleed out to death on his own in the staircase. A real
Oh, that's
bummer, since
terrible.
that dude seemed pretty cool. Barry opens the gun
left
safe
the
and
knife?
starts handing out some of the weapons to Wendell, Antonio, this dude Bradley, and Terry, who doesn't
But
seem that scared.
here's the
They
thing,
corral the
there's
rest
like,
of the
what,
employees
6
into the
people right
lobby,
there?
Although when Bradley sees Danny
And they gotta
hiding in
get
the
down to, like,
basement,
what,
he leaves her
4?
there. I guess that's one of those first date
Or is it
privileges,
6?
like having your boss buy your lunch for you. The other 72 employees all wind up together in the lobby, where Barry starts to sort them into groups. People with children under the age of 18 are put in one group, while everyone over the age of 60 is put in another. Terry
you have all
starts
this
to have
memorized?
second thoughts about the whole thing, but Barry is steadfast that this is the way things have to be.
I
This is
mean,
the right thing.
who
This
gets
is
to
the only
decide
choice
who-
we have.
He starts to choose the
Who
remaining
is more
victims seemingly
important?
at random, but he ain't no RNG, so I don't think this is entirely fair.
It's
This
not
dude,
random.
Jonathan also recognizes the pseudo
Pull straws.
of it and starts making a fuss, leading to Wendell just executing him right there on the spot.
Well,
Dr.
maybe-
Cox seemed a little too eager to get shooting.
Okay.
Maybe JD should buckle down.
There's
and quit
definitely
cage
people behind
review
him.
for his own personal safety. Barry's quote-unquote random selection includes both Peggy and Mike, so that sucks. But luckily,
Oh,
Danny
well,
is still
that's not
hiding
gonna
out in the
happen.
basement, so she's avoiding this whole situation, which is about to get real disturbing real
This
fast.
turned
Barry has
into
Antonio
the
put
most
on the
insane
radio, and
game
the
of
Spanish
hide and
language
seek.
cover of California Dreamin' starts playing, and this is where the tonal fractures of the movie are the most apparent, because the stylistic music scoring this scene makes it feel like the filmmakers are trying to make it more cool than disturbing. But rest assured, this shit is
Cool.
seriously disturbing, and if you're sensitive, you might not want to watch it. 'Cause
Why?
After one last bit of encouragement from Wendell, Barry begins the executions. Last note, the count is going to get messy here, so bear with
Why?
me, and please just trust me.
They
I
literally
spent an entire
started-
day going over this, and I'm fairly confident I got it right.
As long
Barry
as you know
starts
how many
shooting
people are
in the back
left.
of the head to kill them, while Wendell counts up the bodies.
It's instant,
We see a number
at
of them
least.
happen on screen or just off screen, but I'm also counting a few gunshots that we hear as Danny runs through the basement terrified. My logic
I mean,
is that
don't
these
they
people are
update-
lined up to die, and Barry's probably not missing or wasting any bullets. And so during this initial execution scene, I hear or see 10 people get shot, and that's how many go on the count. Meanwhile, Mike is trying to
Yeah, I
convince
guess just
Terry
one
to let
shot.
him go. But despite his poopy pants crybaby face, Terry rejects Mike's pleas and gets ready to follow through. It's at that moment Danny flips the circuit breaker downstairs, turning all the lights in the building off, and
They don't
starting
have
a panic where everyone
any
runs for
lights
their lives.
at all,
During
like
this
backup
sequence,
lights?
I'm once again going off of audible gunshots, which is less realistic here.
Yeah, it
since
is.
It's unlikely that every single bullet fired resulted in a death.
But
if
they
you
get
do
down-
this and count even the most faint gunshots going on in the background, the kill count lines up with what the voice says the next time it checks in on our
Exactly.
characters. So with that in mind,
Either-
during the
it
sequence
updates.
that's still scored by California
helps 'em.
Dreaming, which is uncomfortable, 13 unnamed people are killed. That's the number it has to be. Also during this sequence, Danny escapes into the elevator with Roberto, where they climb through the ceiling to get on top. When
They're just
Antonio comes
gonna
into the
hide?
stairwell after Peggy, Mike jumps on his back, and Peggy ends up stabbing him in the stomach with his own butcher knife. killing
Aw.
him. That's one of the wild bunch.
He was
And
really
another one
excited,
falls
wasn't
when
he?
Bradley is distracted by the circuit breaker long enough for Vince to sneak up on him and get him down. Vince and a whole crowd of other employees
Oh,
then
they were
stop
waiting.
and kick Bradley to death, getting real crunchy
Oh.
with it, until Razia begs them all to stop. Finally, the song
A little late
ends,
for
and
that.
so does the massacre.
I got Polo dead. Don't count.
Is this really like a Saw movie or whatever?
That's right, Terry. No need to count, because the voice comes back on and says they're at 29 people killed, one short of their quota, and that they only have 2 minutes left
they
to
gotta
kill
find
someone else
people.
before an additional
Or they
30
gotta go after
get
each
off.
other.
So when Leandro gets the jump on Terry and gets him begging for mercy with the blade of a paper trimmer, you'd think it'd be an obvious kill.
A
After
paper
all,
trimmer?
this dude
What?
was just executing her coworkers a few minutes ago. But she can't bring herself to do it,
Why?
so Terry is saved, until the voice comes back on to give him a record deal. Or, sorry, to say
A
that
record
31
deal.
additional employees will now be eliminated. And the first to go is, in fact, Terry. As some non-diegetic Tchaikovsky starts playing, we watch as dozens
Wait,
of employees
so
fall
all
victim to
because
the
she
messy,
didn't do
squishy
that, he died
explosives going
anyway.
off in their heads. Again, with the classical music
Oh,
playing
wait.
over this whole thing, I'm not sure exactly what the filmmakers are going for, but I have
So
a
there's
feeling
just somebody
it's
with a
more of
board?
look how awesome and edgy this scene is, rather than a yo, this shit is fucked up type sentiment. And that upsets me, given the
Is he gonna
otherwise very
die?
grounded portrayal of these people as human beings. The kills include second-tier characters such as Leota and Peggy, whose death is real sad,
Oh.
as she shares one last look of terror
So
with
they're
Mike.
gonna be on
That
the
is
what?
finally over.
17 people? No, it's not. Yeah.
Well, okay, sorry. Now it's finally over. Keith makes 31 for the head explosions, and with the count that I've been doing, we're all squared up. There have been 64 employees killed, and only
This
16
is actually one of the
survivors
higher
are
kill
left
counts.
cowering in
Actually, would this
fear,
be the
or in
highest
case of
one
this dude
so
Tyson,
far?
chilling in the freezer like his namesake
It has
chicken
to be.
nuggets. When the voice comes back,
I mean, I
it's
did
one of
jump
the
and
last
did,
phases of their game.
In 1
And Mrs.
hour,
Blue.
whoever has killed the most people will be allowed to live.
It rattles off the current tally, which has Barry in the lead and Wendell in a near second, and Wendell's looking to shore his numbers up, so he takes a cleaver to the 2 people he finds.
Why
in the
doesn't he
bathroom,
just go
Mike
after
and
first
Agnes.
place?
We see Agnes die after a few other people, that's why their kills are numbers 65 and 69. I'm just grouping them together here because it's easier for the graphics. Head of
fair
HR
enough.
Vince has 1 accredited kill, so he reluctantly
one.
starts to add more, starting with his own secretary, Razia,
Oh.
and continuing with this other unnamed employee who tries to run
Why
away.
did
This
Bro
one
wait till
chick,
then to
Lorena,
run?
tries her own method at survival by exposing herself to Barry and telling him he can have her her if he doesn't kill her. A real sad point of desperation,
That's
made even sadder by how
real
much
sad.
it doesn't work, since Barry tells her he can't waste a bullet and instead twists her head around. CG effect, not much better than that one in Freddy vs. Jason. Barry gets in the elevator that Danny and Roberto
That
are on
was-
the roof of.
that
When he
entire
hears them up
scene.
there, he starts to open fire. Danny's like, "This is my floor, thanks." While Roberto is faced with the prospect of getting crushed by the ceiling. He tries to escape.
Aren't there
but is
usually
instead crushed
gaps?
between the roof of the elevator and the ceiling of one of the floors, killing him?
I
and
mean, that
also
is
stopping
possible,
the
isn't it?
elevator dead in its tracks, temporarily trapping Barry inside.
Oh,
Leandra,
that's
armed
actually-
with the gun now, comes
Couldn't they,
across
like, cut
Marty
it
and
down?
Chet, who are removing the bombs from the heads of anyone who died with them intact. Their plan is to put them against the wall and blow a hole through to the outside.
Oh,
An
look at these
unlikely
people actually
plan,
with a
but at least
plan.
it's something. Leandra
also
wants
the camera
Mike in
should be
on it,
watching,
so
right?
She gets on the intercom and asks him to come meet her on the first floor. On her way there, in the cafeteria, she finds Wendell dragging Tyson out of his freezer hiding place, cleaving him to death to get one more kill under his belt. Although maybe he was just taking that Tyson meat out to thaw for later use.
Okay,
Leandra's not
Tyson.
interested in Wendell's frozen dinner, so she shoots him, knocking him to the ground. She takes cover behind a table.
she
with
does
Chet
not
and
know how to
Marty,
use a
but
gun.
Unfortunately, Wendell fires back with his gun, shooting Chet through the head, and as Leandra and Marty push the table towards him, Marty through the throat.
Yeah,
Sad to see
that's
both
not
those
bulletproof.
characters go, but I'm happy they lasted as long as they did.
That's nowhere
Leandra
near
pins Wendell
bulletproof.
down with the table, then stands over him with the fire axe. As Wendell cries in disbelief, she goes friggin' nuts
Oh,
on that dude's face. hacking
she,
into a bloody pulp
was
against the
waiting
floor.
for this
And that's a
moment.
wrap for our secondary antagonist, who goes out with a seriously gnarly smashed head. On his way to the first floor, Mike picks up this cafeteria lady named Liesel, and they meet Leandra in the lobby where she shows
Okay.
him all the bombs Marty and Chet had collected. Mike pockets them for later use. Out of
What if they
nowhere
just
comes
explode in
Vince
his
with the
pocket?
Molotov cocktail. He throws it and it splashes onto Liesel,
Ah,
burning her to
why are
death
you
and knocking
setting
the
things
survivors
on
down to the final
fire?
five.
I
Sorry,
guess you
Liesel,
run out of
at least
other
you outlived
weapons.
the pervert.
Don't you call me pervert.
All right, I'll just call you smashed in face dude. Is that better? Vince
That's-
tosses more cocktails, sending Mike and Leandra into the stairwell, while
don't-
Barry's coming
you are
down on
trapped
them
in the
with his
building.
gun. He
Why are
fires
you
at
burning
them,
it?
But they get away, and when Vince goes to throw another cocktail, he gets a slug through the chest, courtesy of his COO. Vince goes down, another Belko employee dead. Take that, HR.
Do they not have-
Meanwhile, Danny's been being a total badass in the
Sprinkler
elevator
heads?
shaft, monkey barring her way across the chasm, and eventually getting onto the roof of another elevator. She's been such a great
Huh.
player this whole game that it's frustrating as fuck when the script makes her decide to hop down into the elevator and
What?
senselessly take it down to the lobby. It makes
Why would
no
she
fucking
do-
sense, and of course results in her getting shot in the head by Barry
Oh!
when the doors open. God damn, that's the most annoying death in this movie.
So is
Danny
there
was
3
way
left?
smarter and more
Or,
careful
yeah,
with it.
3
Looks
left.
like Leandra ended up getting shot in the stairwell by Barry, so she and Mike make it to a quiet place.
Oh, right,
where
are
she can
these
tell
the
she
other two?
loves him
And the
dies.
COO?
Real bummer for Mike, but an even bigger bummer for us.
So
one
now
of
it's a
the last deaths
1v1.
of the movie, and she just bleeds out like a Linderman. With Mike real pissed at
Linderman.
Barry for murdering his girlfriend, the final showdown begins. Mike leaps out and starts beating Barry, who definitely has the upper hand as a Special Forces trained fighter. The
Yeah.
ball eventually accidentally turns on a projector, giving the sequence the backdrop of a PowerPoint
Oh.
presentation. Somehow, random slouchy office
And that's
guy
actually
Mike
going.
is able to get the best of Special Forces trained Barry, and he
How?
starts beating
Why?
him in the face
I
with
guess
a tape
he's just
dispenser.
mad.
The cover image of the Blu-ray is born as Mike lifts the tape dispenser high above his head and brings it down on Barry's skull over and over, pulverizing his face in yet another real gnarly broken head
I'm sorry,
effect
did you
and
say it was a
killing
tape
him
dispenser?
to end the Belko experiment. I mean the experiment itself. The movie's not over just yet.
Why is the
Walls
movie
around
not
the
over?
building go down and armed guards come in to escort Mike out of the office.
And
They take
what
him to
happens?
the next door hangar that looks like the headquarters.
They don't
of
let him
Sphinx.
leave.
Sphinx, and Mike finally meets the man behind the voice, face to scarred face. The voice says they're part of an international organization studying human behavior, and that they've learned a lot from these experiments.
Oh, that reminds
They try
me
to
of,
give Mike a little questionnaire.
kinda
but he
reminds me
cuts
of
that
the
shit
book.
short by saying he placed the explosives on the guards in the voice when they escorted him inside. He runs to the switchboard and starts flipping switches willy-nilly, killing
Oh.
the 2 armed guards with the explosives.
But also
Then he
wouldn't his
grabs a
head-
rifle and
or
opens
wasn't his
fire on
own?
the questionnaire guy and the cameraman
Holy-
when he tries
what?
to flee, killing a total of 4 altogether. The voice is left pleading for his life on the ground and tries to appeal to Mike's
Dude, what a
belief in life
hero.
being sacred, but the time for that is over, and Mike opens fire straight into the voice's head, unloading an
Huh.
excessive amount of ammo into him and giving us the final kill of the film. Bloody and
Wow.
messed up beyond belief, Mike walks outside and drops his weapon to the ground. He stares
Is-
up into the sky,
he
probably
needs
wondering
to get
what
that bomb
sounds
out
good
of
for
his head.
dinner, as the camera zooms out and reveals that he is still being monitored.
Oh
along with a whole
my
bunch of
wo-
other people
There's
in different
more?
situations.
End stage 1, commence stage 2.
Oh boy.
What do you mean?
Definitely an ending that sets
Is
up
this
for a
the, like,
sequel,
Squid
though
Game?
This one has
This is like
enough
Squid
kills
Game
for
before
4 or
Squid
5
Game.
movies on its own. Don't believe me? Let's get to the numbers.
Yeah, no. Stapler.
In a new kill count record,
It was a
unlikely
record.
to be beaten anytime soon, 84 people were killed in the Belko experiment. Damn.
This pie
From my
chart.
research that took way too long, it looks like there were 35 women and 49 men, but that could be off. I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
With a runtime of
that's a
89
lot.
minutes, that comes out to a kill on average nearly
As a
every single
record.
minute. Good God. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Barry Norris, because it's a kill that actually utilizes an office supply, aka
True,
what the
and they
entire
are in
movie
office.
should have had instead of
Instead
just
of
a bunch
weapons,
gun shooting and
yeah.
head exploding.
Which
Come
didn't
on.
make a whole
Dolmachet
bunch
for
of
lamest
sense,
kill
yeah.
will actually be Danny, because I'm pissed at how unfair it was to her character. Danny was better than that, y'all. And that's it. The Belko Belko Experiment premiered in 2016 to mixed reviews and box office numbers, so who knows if we'll ever
It wasn't actually in
theaters. Sequels, though, we're back on that Leprechaun grind on Friday.
Yeah, Leprechaun.
And until then, I'm James H.
That'd be, we're gonna do a lot of Leprechauns in
Thanks
the
a lot
next
for watching
weeks.
today's Kill Count.
We're gonna skip this and do another CRYPT TV after this.
Jordan Shannon. My impression is that a
Shout out
lot
to
of you
patrons.
like this movie a whole lot more than me, and that's totally okay.
A lot of you
I
seem
express my
excited about
opinions
it.
in these kill counts, but that doesn't
I
make
do read
them
all your
the end-all,
comments.
be-all appraisement of these movies. In fact, sometimes my opinion on movies is swayed by comments you leave. So if you love this movie, go ahead and leave a comment.
I mean,
telling
from
me
I
why.
saw it
All right,
looked
thanks,
pretty
y'all.
good.
Be good people.
Oh, we have to skip. Oh, no. Wait, if I do cancel, we'll just play the next one? No, it won't. Okay. Well, I guess the Leprechaun ones are going to have issues, but this is another CRYPT TV. A lot of people telling me about
where we
the
tally up
CRYPT
the
TV
victims
stuff,
in all
and
our
I think they
favorite horror
recently
media.
came back.
I'm James
Like,
H. Anise, and
or the more
today we're
recent
looking
stuff.
at the first 2 seasons of Sunny Family Cult, a series created by CRYPT
I'd never
TV
heard
in
of CRYPT
2017.
TV
If
until
you haven't
last
checked
week
out
with the
CRYPT
look-see,
TV
and
yet,
that
make
thing
sure
was-
you do,
Ugh.
because it's a high-quality channel putting out spooky monster videos 3 days a week, which
is
still
insane.
blows my friggin' mind, dude. Just hit them up in the video description, where you'll also find links to the seasons 1 and 2 supercuts I'll be using for the Sunny Family kill count. Sunny
So,
Family
did
Cult
they only do
follows a
2 kill counts for
self-professed
this
family of people who revel in upending the banality of everyday life. Through murder, they wear simple yet kind of creepy masks, and they think that they're ultimately helping humanity with what they're doing, even if sometimes their very own members waver in this belief. With an ideology centered around killing, you know there's about to be a bunch of kills, so let's get to it.
Yeah, I mean, nothing compared to what we just saw, right?
Season 1 begins with a rousing meeting of masked people saying they disrupt normal life to show what's truly important. Ethos. We've got an ethos here, people. This couple, Elias and Karen, say they're going out on a date, but their young daughter, Taylor, whines about not being able to go with them.
On
You
a
know,
date?
average kid stuff, wanting to see your parents make out on a date, no big deal. Karen tells Taylor to grow up and be a big
What do you mean
girl.
grow
Don't
up?
be a victim. Nobody likes that.
So they leave
Nobody
her
likes
with
a
the
victim?
babysitters
I'm
and hit
sorry,
the road
what?
jack. During their drive, Mommy and Daddy almost hit a confused-looking dude in the middle of the road, and they offer him a ride as an apology. Hell, they pretty much force it
That
on him. Too bad
Markiplier?
he needs
No.
a pit stop like right the fuck away. Damn it, hitchhiker, I told you to pee before we left. His small bladder pisses them off so much that they come at him with those sunny masks
With
on.
what?
Don't run.
Why do they need a mask
One
on?
hatchet strike later, and Hitchhiker's down with a bag over his head. Back at home,
Does-
Taylor watches as a bunch of people arrive at her home. When she calls them strangers, babysitter Raymond says, "Nah, man, this house is like the Olive Garden." When they're here,
The Olive Garden?
Family.
after Taylor
He's
is
in on it.
ostensibly put to bed, Karen and Elias arrive back home with the
So were they
hitchhiker,
actually going
and
on a
back to that
date,
cold
or
open speech
were
about
they
the
just
banality of
looking for
life and
people?
such. As Taylor sneakily watches, her dad says old blood must be spilled for new blood. So it looks like this is an initiation for this chick, who slits the hitchhiker's throat, killing him ceremoniously. Well, at least he got to pee before he died. Usually that happens right after. Taylor is shocked at the murder. Shocked, I say. And that alerts the others to her presence. So Karen has a little bathroom chat with her and explains how they just get rid
With
of
blood
bad
on
people. But
her
also,
hand.
make sure you don't tell anyone about this.
I was gonna say blood on her
Episode
face.
2
No, her
begins
hand.
with some mask packing. Taylor wants to join in on whatever duffel bag adventures await, but her parents,
Oh, she's
especially
older now.
Karen, are still giving it a no-go. It sounds like something else is up too.
Someone else is pretending to be us.
Yeah, there are some pseudo-family cult killings going on, and apparently they've killed a child, which sounds like a taboo. So, you know, at least they have that as a rule. Taylor grabs a
Yeah,
mask for
they have
herself and
one
goes to a
rule, they
neighbor's
have
house
some
where she puts on a porch-side
level
show
of
about how
morals.
she's locked out of her house. While they're inside, the dude brings up the aforementioned child murder, which might sound random, but as
Why
we're
is he
about
a
to
little
see
like
through
Zach
some more house
Job
guests
from
that he
Big
gets,
Time?
It's actually because this dude is the Sunny Family copycat.
You got it all wrong. We don't kill children.
He gets a
Oh,
knife
he's
in
the
the gut from
copycat, okay.
Elias and falls to the ground. And after a torso slit, we get ourselves another victim on the kill count. Despite the successful vengeance, Elias is not very happy with Taylor's independent interference.
she went-
and tells
yeah.
her she better shape up. Woo, woo, woo. Episode 3 begins with, well, looks like Taylor shaped up, or at least grew up to be this chick who looks like the leads of Jennifer's body were combined into
What?
a single person. What would that be, a Megan Fox-Fried? Anyway, she's going
Megan
underwear
Fox-
dipping
what?
with this dude Hal in another person's pool while they're not home. Those crazy horny kids. They chat about life and stuff while Hal shows off his immaculate torso of chest hair, but when a light comes on in the supposedly empty house, they run and hide in the pool shack.
It was
or
all the
wherever, where
plan.
Taylor wants to take this relationship to the next level and introduce Hal to her family. He tries to talk his way out of getting murdered, and surprisingly, it seems to work on Taylor, who goes to leave. But Elias stops her
Wait,
and carries
why
out the
is she-
stabbing without her, sticking the dude in the gut with a knife. He tries to make Taylor earn a participation trophy, but she refuses. Great for
Oh,
her
why would you-
morality, I
are you
guess,
just trying to
but that dude
break-
still died, so
You're trying to
maybe
break
you
her
could've found
mind?
your change of heart back in the pool or something. Elias has a little father-daughter talk where he expresses his
Honestly,
disappointment with
how is
Taylor's
this a
lack of
YouTube
murder.
video?
I thought we
and
were
not
over this
like a
rebellious
movie.
teenager thing.
She promises she'll do better at murder, so she calls up
Dude,
another another dude credited as Tavis here and invites him over. Episode 4 was actually the first episode released, and the 3 we just watched were made as prequels, so that's fine.
Oh.
It's 1982, and we see a guy on the side of the road peeing, which is maybe a motif now, until he's interrupted by a paper airplane that unfolds to show a bloody symbol inside. Then he gets ganged up on,
first off,
by a
red
couple
flag.
of plaid shirts and masks.
If a paper airplane just flies towards you when you're outside, nobody's around.
The last known Sunny Cult murder took place in 2015. They've become the stuff of legend, as Taylor's friends talk about it at their cool youth hang sesh. That's what you guys call them, right?
Yeah.
Cool youth hang sesh? As with most get-togethers involving horny teens, the kids turn to truth or dare to pass the time, and this dude
Can't
Aaron
say I
dares
ever
to
had
make
anything
out with
like
him in
this
the closet.
happen.
Dude, you can't just dare people to make out with you, otherwise that's the only dare that would ever happen. In the closet,
True.
Taylor gets aggressive with him, and when she comes back out by herself, all splattered in blood, saying the dude's dead, her friends just think she's telling a lame joke. That is, until they check it out for themselves and find out that sure enough, Aaron's dead. He's really dead. I guess those 7 minutes wound up taking him to heaven after all. The lights go out, and when they come back on, there's another body hit the floor. This other chick, Jessa. Looks like she had her throat slit there. Yep,
wait, is she just going off on all of her
friends? The 2
friends?
remaining dudes are freaking out and find a paper airplane on the ground that looks like it belongs to the SFAF, that Sunny Family Air Force. Then a Sunny Family troop appears. It's Taylor with a mask on. She rushes Dan and stabs him with her knife.
Also, do you really need the mask if you're still wearing the same clothes?
Kind of like that Scream 4 kill that was so cool. Taylor starts coming on to the last guy, Taven from the last episode, but credited here as Kyle, and tells him that this murder stuff is super fun and he should join the Sunny family. But as soon as he mentions the cops, she goes nuts on his abdomen, stabbing him a ton of times.
He said the bad word.
With it. Yeah, that's a lot of blood. He did. Taylor's parents come downstairs, played by different actors here, since this was before they were recast for the rest of the series, and congratulate her on the kills. Also, I know the chick playing the mom here. I worked at a comedy theater with her. Season 1 ends with a Sunny family selfie. Taylor's victim.
Why would you create evidence like that?
Season 2 begins with Taylor chilling out against the wall, thinking back to all the good times she had in Season 1. Her memories, all alone in the moonlight, seem to be focused on the empty chairs her murder spree left behind. And the chick behind her, Jaina, suspects that the missing students are all dead. After school, Jaina tries to strike up a friendship, but that might be hard with Taylor's murder family thing. Hey, speaking of the killer, mom's here to pick her up from school and ask her what she wants to do for her upcoming 17th birthday. But Taylor's too busy being all morose to care. So at dinner, Elias gets on her case about being such a negative Nancy. You have a good, loving murder family here, young lady. Start showing some gratitude.
And they think they're doing good by doing
writing
this.
in a diary about the regret she's been feeling.
When all you know is fire, are you destined to spend your life watching the world burn?
The episode ends with some dude on the side of the road looking at a picture of Taylor and her family. Dun dun dun.
Why?
Episode 2 begins with a kill. There are 2 Sunny family members taking a hatchet to this dude on the ground. We'll see this kill a few more times, so remember that I already counted it here. Also, looks like one of the masked men isn't too eager to join in. In a voiceover, Taylor talks about how
I guess it's just like once you do it once, you can do it again.
The very model of a modern major murderer. But her Bleacher Time daydreaming is interrupted by this dude Roger, who introduces himself as a substitute teacher and who talks
definitely
to Taylor
not a student.
cryptically about how things and people change over time. She's like, "Hey, bye," and runs off to sit in class by herself until Jaina shows up, and the 2 of them get the bright idea to hold hands and skip school together, not knowing there's a Sunny family stalker watching them tee-hee away.
In
They have a
school,
fun
middle
and
of the
fancy
day.
free afternoon full of friendly bike riding and Polaroid selfies, and then they decide to sneak into the school
It's
after
really
dark.
difficult to
There
take a
they have
selfie with a
slow
Polaroid.
motion blast, jumping off chairs and drinking labelless beers, but then they get chased out of the library by an axe-wielding hoodied guy wearing a Sunny-style mask. They run outside where Elias rolls up to yell at Taylor for missing out on their quarterly Sunny family meeting. She gets
What about
mad
her
in
friend?
return
Are they
that
just
he
leaving the
sticks a
friend?
stalker on her,
They're
but he
just
says
being
they'd
chased.
never do that to
What
her.
about-
That means the
what
hoodied
about her
masked
friend?
guy might be a rogue Sunny family man. Episode 3 continues right away with Elias's discipline, where he tells Taylor that if she wants to become the face of the family, there is no effing normal. Taylor takes to
What
her
do you
diary
mean,
again to complain that
face
she
of the
doesn't know
family?
what her life is anymore, and that she wants to be her own person, not a Sunny family clone. The next day, she's hanging out by a lamppost when that Roger
That's
dude
weird.
just happens to come across her again.
Are you stalking me?
What? No.
Maybe.
Not at all.
He
Sounds
definitely
like
is.
something a stalker would say.
Yeah,
He says he's
just
offered
like
a
what's his
full-time
face in
teaching
Belko.
position, and they make formal introductions before he runs off.
Also, they're
like,
shorts.
You know, literally.
Very
Working
short.
on Fitness. Taylor meets up with her new friend and summer buddy Jaina, who's brought her boyfriend Lance along for the birthday festivities.
They all have the same
Looks like
hairstyle.
Taylor wasn't expecting this, and since she thinks 3's a crowd, she stabs Lance in the chest
Right in front of her
with a
friend?
knife. Only that was just a fantasy, and it looks like she's
Okay.
just been staring into space that whole time.
She's kind of weird.
Yeah,
How do you
dude,
just say that in front of
she's
somebody?
Also right there, she can hear you. They get together that night for birthday cake on the bed, which is how you end up sleeping in crumbs. But despite all the fun Taylor's having as a third wheel,
Ew,
Elias
in the
does
hair?
not approve of these new strangers in his house. Good thing they're on their way out. Jaina takes off to go handle some family business, but when Lance takes
Also,
a closer look at his
how many-
bike, he
do
sees
kids
it has
still
a flat
use
tire.
bikes?
Right when Taylor comes out to see what's going on, the hoodie dude from the library sneaks up on Lance and stabs him a whole bunch of times in the back and the side. I bet the official Sunny family movie is Scream. They just love to get their stabby stab on. The assailant
seems
runs
like
off,
it.
leaving a note with the bloody Sunny family symbol on it and that picture of Taylor and her family. What's up with that? Episode 4
Which means
starts
she's
with a
a target,
disembodied
I
arm
guess.
in the forest,
Oh.
found by a cop named Robin, who calls it in. Looks like Robin is the mother of this mean girl from school, Allie, who was shown to be a real bee in the bathroom to Taylor back in episode 201.
Useless gutter trash.
Allie's extending that kind of glaring judgment to Jaina when she walks in to grab a couple of coffees for her and Taylor to chat over. During the chat, Jaina mentions that she got a text from Lance last night blowing her off, so sounds like she's still in the dark about Lance's
she doesn't
being
know that
murdered
he's
situation.
gone.
Meanwhile, Taylor can't recall.
I guess
what
people
even
just
happened
go
to her
missing.
after
They're
she
not
saw
technically
Lance die. It's all a
murderers.
fugue for her. Allie's mom is working on
Places
her
don't
homeland
suspect
board at
anything.
home, which I guess inspires Allie to go check out that armed crime scene for herself.
No way the
Looking
arm
for
is still there.
Isn't just an arm; it's two arms attached to a body, and they're holding an axe. The hooded killer chases Allie down, swinging his axe like a madman at her. She winds up tumbling into a forest ditch where she sees the body of Lance, though not in an identifiable way. The killer swings his axe and gets her in the side, but when he's lined up for the kill shot, he seemingly intentionally misses her head. Looked out there, Allie. The episode ends with Roger approaching Jaina at the coffee shop and telling her that they need to talk. And Taylor,
so that means that it's not him?
Wondering what happened to Lance's body and what exactly happened to her after his death. Episode 5 starts with a guy tied up and bloody. This dude, Patrick, is apparently on Sunny family trial for trying to abandon the cult status since he can't handle murdering anymore.
This is not a family. This is a butcher shop.
But the price for desertion is death, so Patrick becomes a pincushion for
I
the
mean,
rest of the family.
he knew that, didn't he?
Fucked up
Did he
sense of
try to
justice.
get away, or did he
Gets
just say
stabbed
he
by
wants
everyone
out?
that's around.
Or maybe it's never
After
happened
a little
before.
bit of hesitation, even Taylor joins in on the Orient Express execution as proud Papa Elias stands to the side and watches.
That's not
Elias
something to be
says
proud
that
of.
Whoever's been going off on their own needs to cut that shit out, because this is a family, yo, and they do everything together.
There's 7 of them?
Later on, when he's cleaning up the execution scene, he worries aloud to Karen about Taylor's faith in the family. Wouldn't want to have to put her on trial too, you know? Back at the coffee bar, Roger approaches Taylor to admit that he hasn't been entirely honest. He's not actually a teacher, he's a cop, and he thinks she might be in danger. Meanwhile, in the woods, Allie takes her mom to the forest ditch where she swears she saw a body, but there's nothing there now, so Mama Robin just thinks Allie's lying to get attention. Allie gets her friends Tia and Hannah to help her look for clues,
kind of
and
forensics,
that's when
can't you?
Allie finds a Sunny family hieroglyph. Later on, I think at the coffee shop, they're looking at it together when this dude Andy walks by and recognizes what it is.
Isn't that the
Gets Allie
barista?
peaked. Boom, episode 6, which starts off with another clip of the hatchet murder we saw before, of this dude, again, already on the count, getting hacked up by a couple of Sunny family bros. Elias goes to Taylor's room and apologizes for being kind of hard on her lately, explaining that he just wants her to fulfill her murdery potential, but that no matter what, he'll protect her. Andy tells Allie and her friends about a past Sunny family cult murder when they killed a high-power attorney as she begged for her life. So thanks for the story time, dog. You gave us another kill for the count. They all resolve to figure out if the Sunny family cult is behind the missing kids in class, too. Well, all except Hannah.
I don't want to die.
None of us do. They go through Allie's mom's files, and Tia finds something that seems pretty interesting to them. This storyline leads off with Allie calling her mom while looking at this picture of, well, to be real with y'all, I have a slight case of facial blindness, and I can't tell if I'm supposed to know these characters or not. Is that Allie herself? I don't know. I'm sorry. Let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, Taylor and Jaina chat about Roger and the whole him being a cop thing, with Taylor thinking he seems a little off.
And a little hot.
Haha, you said it, Jaina.
Is that more important?
Jaina tells Taylor that they need to talk more later because she hasn't told her everything. Interesting. Later on, Taylor comes home to find that hot fuzz at her place, and he asks her to come down to the station with him because he's learned some new information. She reluctantly agrees and gets in the car with him, but looks like that was a mistake because they drive right past the police station, and she realizes there's a hoodie and an axe in his backseat. We finally get more insight on the recurring Hatchet Brothers
Maybe there's
tale,
a
which
new
took place in
family?
1995 and was done by Roger himself, who was trying to get a more reluctant Elias in on the action.
Ooh. Family. Maybe you should start trying a little harder.
The season ends with Taylor.
Also, wouldn't he be like a lot older
Lots of cliffhangers that we'll pick back up in season 3. But one thing we can close the book on is the number of kills
Did he
we
not
just
do
saw.
it?
Let's count them up.
I don't think I saw another kill count for CRYPT TV because I kind of looked at it and I was like,
these
oh, I'll do
episodes
another
of
CRYPT
Sunny
TV one
Family
together.
8 in season 1 and 4 in season 2. The victims consisted of 10 men and 2 women, so looks like Sunny Family plays favorites. With a runtime of 24 minutes, season 1 had a kill on average every 3 minutes, and with a runtime of 40 minutes, season 2 slowed it down a whole bunch and had a kill on average every 10 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw
compared
for
to
coolest
Belko.
kills to Dan in season 1. I'm a sucker for eviscerations. You show me intestines, and you can show me the dotted line, because I'll sign for it. All my skill will go to Aaron, since it happened off screen, and since the poor guy probably died with blue balls. And that's it. Sunny Family Cult is currently on CRYPT TV.
Dude was so happy, and it turned into the worst thing ever.
Description, or click right up here to watch all of seasons 1 and 2 and prepare yourself. In the meantime, you can watch all the other
people warn me about watching the
offers, including 3 new videos every week.
Which is insane.
Next weekend, I'll be ranking CRYPT TV monsters for you. But until then, I'm James Agent.
I don't think it was in a kill count, was it?
Kill count. Thanks a lot for watching my kill count on Sunny
And then
Family
I think
Cult.
next
One of the
week,
unexpected
Influencer,
benefits of this partnership with CRYPT TV is the swag they gave me. This bloodstained bloodstained sweater is like the coolest thing. I love it. It's so comfy. It says Sunny Family Cult right here on the.
That's actually dope.
It says Sunny Family Cult. There's still
They
time
probably
for
don't
you
sell
to
the
email
mask,
me
do
your
they?
favorite monsters and kills from any Crypt TV short. Got a special video for you on Monday. I'll see you then. Be good people.
That's actually pretty dope. So yeah, we're gonna start the Leprechaun series next week with probably Leprechaun and Leprechaun 2, and then we're gonna do Leprechaun 3 and 4, Leprechaun in the Hood, Back to the Hood, or Saw. Oh, Saw, Happy Death Day. I've actually seen Happy Death Day. That's gonna be cool. That's a movie I've actually seen. I actually thought it was a pretty interesting video. I actually really like the Belko Experiment, like as a premise and the whole idea of the movie. It's not one that's like, I guess. In 2016, was it really done beforehand? I guess it's kind of like the Hunger Games kind of deal, almost in a way, but that's more like, I guess, political. But yeah, no, this was a little bit before its time. If Belko Experiment came out right now and maybe they worked on a couple of things that, like, James pointed out, maybe it would be like a smash hit. I've never heard of the movie. I don't remember ever seeing like a trailer or any advertising for it or a movie trailer. But this was 2016, so I definitely, you know, could have watched it. But this is Belko Experiment and the Sunny Family Cult. I don't see another CRYPT TV in here for a while, so I'm not really sure why there's not another one in this playlist. Maybe it's left out. James seems to really include everything in the playlist stuff, going in chronological order, so I'm not really sure what happened there. I do look forward to reading your comments. Likes are always appreciated if you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to reading your comments and responding to a lot of comments as well. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope I made it a tiny little bit better. But until the next video, take care and keep the music.